Now, welcome to a Mind Kron Ghana. I am Ubunku Minkumanana Bediako-Poku. I am the ordained Crown Prince of Ghana and I am the Falcon of Africa. I'm sending salute to you wherever you find yourself on this beautiful continent called Al-Kebulan, or you may call it Africa or whatever. We call it Al-Kebulan already because the kingdom of Al-Kebulan is what we are seeing, right? Africa's unity is here and we are living in it in real time, right? History has a way of saying things, right? But what are you doing now as an African? What you do now for Africa, for your own self, knowing who you are, will determine where you and I will be in the next 5 years. Now, let me start off with this marvelous news. Of course, my father, Nyamekese Opimsuo Otumfuo Osei Tutu the second, visited one of my fathers, His Royal Majesty King Tackie Teiko Tsuru the second. You see, as somebody with my father from Asante land and my mother from the Ga side, I know how pivotal it is when these two people see eye to eye. Because what Ghana has become, we need to rescue Ghana. And seeing what we saw yesterday shows royalty, shows magnificence, right? We can also do it. Africa is ours. If Africa is ours, the divisions that has been enforced in our midst is what we are throwing away. So I'm sending love, I'm sending congratulations, I'm sending everything. Otumfuo Osei Tutu met with the government chair and everybody that went to escort our father to make sure that Ghana is what it is meant to be. Now, today, of course, we will talk about Normandy D-Day 80 years celebration. But first of all, I'm just so happy with what is happening in Ghana. We will very soon, we will also join our brothers in the Sahel. You see, Africa's unity is here and everybody has a say in it. If you've been tired of what is happening in Congo, Sudan, in Palestine, which is northeastern Africa, then you should know what to do. That our unity, our borderlessness, right, is the beginning of we knowing that we are the same people from the same source. And if we are the same people, our differences in Africa, various tribes, shows how diverse our brains are, how creative we can be. Now, growing up as a Ghanaian, the youth had a Megasigi way of speaking. And now we could speak Megasigi, but our parents didn't understand. If it was the olden days, the Megasigi people would have been a tribe by now. That is the same way the young boys of Kumasi, shout outs to my Kumerika boys, man. They started the Kisha thing before they realized all the youth were speaking it. But the old people was like, what is this language you are speaking? That is how creative the black mind is. So our different languages is testaments to who we are. A great nation, the same people, thinking the same thing in different languages. Because you see, we will connect to earth. So wherever we find ourselves in the world, Mother Nature teaches us everything. All you need to do is know who you are as an African, and we are going places. Now, let me go on to more geopolitics of the world. And Joe Biden was at the D-Day 80 years anniversary. And are you kidding me, the youth of this world? Are you kidding me, the youth of Africa? The so-called leader of the free world was so discombobulated. He didn't know whether he was sitting down. He said he knew Vladimir Putin for 40 years. Come on, my brothers and sisters. Is this the man who is leading us to the future you and I want? Look at the genocide that has happened in Gaza. Of course, the youth of this world will never forget what is happening in Sudan, in Congo, in Haiti, in Gaza. Because you see, This is where humanity should say enough is enough. There can't be companies in capitalistic mindset ruining the world because they produce the guns, and there can't be peace when I have produced more guns. And if I own all the systems like BlackRock, SSGA, and Vanguard Group does, then I manipulate the world. So all these things, we should check where the profits are going. These warmongers have nothing, don't have a better future for us as the generation in Aquarius, the enlightened beings. No, these entities, these personalities can't be in the world you and I, as the youth of the world, want to create. They see lack in everything. We see abundance because we realize when we put our time into the land, nobody will be homeless in the world. Nobody will be homeless or will go hungry. So when we talk about the Pan-Africanism, this is Pan-Africanism in a nutshell. As the ordained crown prince of Ghana and the Falcon of Africa, I don't want to lead or follow these so-called civilized societies. Because civilization, what I understand about civilization, they have no idea. This is not a civilized society. And that is why I'm so happy Tackie has joined BRICS. Because for years and years, they were part of NATO, right? But then they weren't part of the European Union. They had begged and begged and begged, and now they found a better alliance that is going to move this world into grace, that is going to move this world into true partnership, equal respect for one another. Color not being the thing we look at first, but what does he or she offer to humanity? What is the difference between corruption and lobbying anyway? I've been thinking about this since morning. What is the difference between corruption and lobbying anyway? Now, Lloyd Austin and Raytheon, think about it. And later awarding over $30 billion in contracts since January 2021. Lloyd Austin was part of the board of Raytheon, part of the military industrial complex or whatever you call it, and then becoming part of government, becoming the defense minister. What is the difference between lobbying and corruption? I want Americans to answer me today. What is the difference? Because I see it as the same thing. Why is AIPAC not registered as a foreign agent under the FARA Act of 1936? Why is AIPAC not registered as a foreign agent, right? But then everybody else is, think about it. The world will never forget what is happening in Sudan, Congo. We will never forget it. And where the world's consciousness is, unfortunately, the people in the United States are now catching up. And they think they've always been civilized. And we have been looking at them from a very far point and like, is this civilization? Is this the so-called free world? If this is the free world, then I want to be enslaved in Africanism, in being a Pan-African, because this is abundant. Paul Manafort is in jail, whilst people like Mike Johnson, Ted Cruz openly declare war on places they shouldn't be in the first place. Now, what is democracy when you think you have the right to tell me what to do and the systems I should use, the way I should educate my children, even you change history to suit whatever? Come on. The world, we've moved past this barbarianism, right? We've moved past it. What is AIPAC, right? What is the difference between lobbying and corruption? Tell me. Maybe I am an African, right? Maybe, of course, English is not my native language. You guys should explain to me what the difference between corruption and lobbying, if not for just different synonyms and words making, gaslighting, whatever. Because we know the United States is a settler colonial project, same as Australia, and they want to do same. Look at the greater Israel map and compare it to where Israel is now. So it never stops. We know Palestine is northeastern Africa. Black people have been living in that land way before any Caucasian ever stepped foot on this land, on earth. When we move from a place, our energies, nature will take over the place. That is why I've been telling my brothers in the United States to move back to Africa, move back to the Caribbeans. Let us leave the United States for white people. And in just 70 years, the Eiffel Tower in France, the Statue of Liberty in the United States will cease to have viewers because nature will take over those lands. And just like all the great civilizations that are sunk underneath the ocean, that is what will happen to it. Because you see, evil, what you've done, humans will forget you. Humans will forget that there ever existed countries like this. Because we would rather talk about people that make this world a better place. Where is your consciousness, world? How can you tell me democracy is better than communism? Look at their fruits. By their fruits, you will know what they are. Even communism, look at China and look at the United States. Check out homelessness. Check out medicine. Check out innovation. Check out things and compare the two. Look at what the United States does in Haiti and around the world. And check what China does. Compare the two and tell me if your system is better than communism. It's a joke. But you see, we Africans have our own system known as the Pan-African system. And that is what we are going to use. And it's the beginning of all wisdom, of course. So you will find socialism, communism, and everything in there. Because you see, once we get our spirituality right, we will start telepathing, astral projecting amongst one another, sharing ideas, and knowing that all we need to do is create here and it manifests in this 3D. This is a hologram. Come on, guys. Now, I'll be talking about the Bukayo Saka thing. But let me end this side of whatever, because Joe Biden can't be the leader of the free world. Come on. And look at his alternative, Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump for being honest. He says things the way at least I respect people like that, right? You can see what you get from him, right? But when you look at Joe Biden is no. But you see, choosing between the two of the lesser evils shouldn't work anymore in the United States. And I hope the youth are paying attention. I hope they are not sedated too much to even listen. Maybe TikTok is their only chance of seeing videos like this, because most of them are living like zombies. Yeah. Full of drugs. You know it, right? You see the images and they want us to use similar systems here. We'll use scientific socialism across Africa. The same is called the Pan-African system. That is what will change Africa in a more socialistic way, because this is a land of abundance. All we need to do is make sure the most fertile lands in the world. The deforestation is too much. We need to replant a lot. That is what our ancestors did. That is why we have so many forests. The best in biodiversity. Come on, African youth. So, as I'm saying, let me end with a quote from Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah with regards to capitalism. And he says, capitalism is a development by refinement from feudalism. Just as feudalism is a development by refinement from slavery. Capitalism is but the gentleman's method of slavery. And as I've told you guys around the world, this man is like a Moses to me, because when I look from where history teaches me, he did a lot for me to be here now. So if he was, then I am, right? There is no separation, right? If I think about the fact that energy is neither created nor destroyed, then Okomfanoche is still here, right? So if he was, then I am, right? So you can pick from every great leader. Don't turn your back to your ancestors, because power, grace, and abundance resides there. That is where ultimate power is. Just be a black man and just know who you are, and it ends for everybody. Everybody won't be able to oppress us anymore, because then we will make sure abundance gets to everybody. We are abundant, we manifest it. We alchemize slavery and turn it into something else. We alchemize so many things, and they don't understand why we are still happy. We can be happy with just a loaf of bread for a day and still know we are the ordained crown prince of Ghana and the falcon of Africa. I don't eat much, my brothers and sisters. Now, let's talk about Bukayo Saka's situation. And over the weekend, of course, England lost to Iceland, right? Iceland, this is not the first time they beat England, though. They beat them in the Euros. I've forgotten the particular Euro, but they beat them and knocked them out, right? So this was a game where Kobe Mainoo played, Declan Rice played. One of the best number sixes in the Premier League. We had Phil Foden, PFA Player of the Year, right? Cole Palmer, 20 plus goals, right? Harry Kane, look at the number of goals they scored, right? Starting a game, got beaten in the first half. Bukayo Saka coming on in the 67th minute. And then you think about this. Later on, they lost, and then Bukayo Saka's face was on every major newspaper when it came to something negative. And once again, we've been speaking about this, and I hope you are seeing them now yourselves. Meanwhile, in the game against Iran in Qatar at the World Cup, Bukayo Saka scored twice, and one of the newspapers posted Jack Grealish's hand raised high. Nobody speaks about how Jack Grealish has been a flop at Manchester City at the price tag. Why? So, selective outrage. That is why I'm so, I can't say I'm pissed. I can't say I am disappointed. But I wished, if Ghana was the Ghana I want the Ghana to be, Kobe Mainoo would have cried to play for the Black Stars. Because what we would do with the Black Stars, what we would do with our sport in Pan-Africanism, no African will want to go to Europe. And it will be so sad to see Real Madrid not have viewers anymore. Because you see, the Enyimba Rangers, the Kumasi Asante Kotokos, the El Alis, the TP Mazembes, the Orlando Pirates will become teams and clubs Africans will die to play for. And we are going to build our own football system. You see, our unity ends in status quo. That is why they create so many things to divide us. My name is Otumfuo Osei Bediako-Poku. I am the ordained crown prince of Ghana, and I am the falcon of Africa. Jeremy Doku could have been playing for the Black Stars, right? Kwanzaa, man. Look at this. Look at this. It's been a pleasure having you on my Crown Ghana. When you see a leader, I hope you are seeing the difference between leaders and politicians, the youth of this world. Chichicha. Bye-bye.